Hey, how are you doing? Uh, in the next series of video tutorials, we're going to be going through this section right here, structuring the page using the div tag, which for some reason it doesn't say there, and more. So if we scroll down a little bit, we are going to make something that pretty much looks like this. Okay, this is the top part of it, and this is the bottom part of it. And I did that because I wanted you to see the footer. So up here we have the header, the main section, and the footer. All right. Those are the main parts that we're going to be practicing today and thinking about with this new blog style layout that we're going to use. I kind of break it down right up here where we're going to use these divs. So we're going to have a container div, and then we're going to have a header div, and then a main div, and then a footer div. And those are going to be little boxes that we use to structure the page. Okay, very simple style layout, which you're going to use for the poetry practice. Okay, and I have some more about the box model there. But I really want to focus on this part here. So we're going to first practice using the div style layout, the box style layout, blog style. And we're going to use divs to create that. And we're also going to be learning the ID attribute, which is we're going to give those divs names, and we'll be able to target those specific divs with CSS. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, like I say, download everything. Here's all the information for the site, and then set up a folder called Practice 3, and in that folder, put another folder called Images, and you can put all your images in that folder. Okay, so I'm going to open up Dreamweaver right now, and I'll define the site. Get that open. Dreamweaver. That's just going to take a second to open. Hopefully not too long. All right, great. Look at that i7 processor doing its thing. All right, so if you probably noticed that Dreamweaver usually opens up the last thing you were looking at. Oh, and there's that. Okay, I'm just going to start from scratch for you guys. Close that. All right, so I'm going to use site. First thing we do when we open up Dreamweaver, site, new site. Again, I'm defining it right now. I'm just kind of showing Dreamweaver where the folder is that I'm using. And I will call this Practice 3. You could call it ham sandwich. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to go to my folder, Web Art Practice. Practice 3. I already have it made. So I'm going to click on that and select it. And I'll hit save. Okay, great. There's my file panel. Move over here. And I have my image folder with my images in it and my copy text. Perfect. That's what you should have too. And I think for this practice, I think we'll just do one page. I know I have enough images to do 2, but let's just do 1. So I'm going to go right click on the root folder, new file. It's going to make a new HTML page, and I'll just call this home. And I'll get that open. Boop. Okay, so before we start actually doing anything, I just kind of want to show you what a a div, like how you write a div and how it works. So in our body, and we're going to get rid of all this. So in our body, I'm just going to space down a bunch. And I'm going to write a div. div. It's an HTML element. And I'll just put some letters in there. Doesn't matter. And I'll close it. Oh, you know what? Let's make it a color. I'll write red. Okay, and then I'll make another div. Call it blue. And another div. And I'll call this yellow. Okay, great. So there are our divs. Now, if I were to target those with CSS, meaning if I was to go up in my head tag, I'll do a style tag, and I'll close it. And I wrote div curly bracket background color, and I'll just write red. Okay, all of the divs would be the same color. Okay, I can even give it a little margin just to show you that they're all separate boxes. Let's say 25 pixels. Okay, so we need to give these divs individual names because in the practice we're going to do, we're going to be adjusting them all separately. So that's where the ID comes in. So in this first div, I'm going to click into the first column, do a space, and I'll say ID, hit enter because it's code helper, and I'll call this red. And the next one, I'll ID, code helper again, hit enter. It's nice because it gives you the equal and then the apostrophes. So I'll call this one blue. And again, the ID name is just like it could be anything, but I'm using the color because that makes sense. So it's really just kind of picking, you know, something clear that makes sense. So now I have these names. So now when I want to target them, I'm going to use the name that I give it, the ID, rather than the div. And how I do that is I'm going to get rid of that. And you need to do a hashtag, and I'll just write red. Okay, so now it all comes in as its own thing. So let's try that again. I'm going to do hashtag, oops, I want to see that. Okay, it should give me a list right here. I don't know why it's not. It started to and then it didn't. It doesn't matter. Hashtag blue. Oh, see, there's the code helper kind of telling me. And I'll say background color blue. Margin, let's say 50 pixels. We'll make it different. And then the last one, hashtag yellow. There it goes. And let's say background color yellow. Again, let's do a margin, say 100 pixels. Wow. Okay, why is that one not? Oh, there it goes. Okay, so you see there, those are my divs. They're just little boxes. Okay, and we're going to use those boxes to move everything around. Okay? All right, the next video we will start the site for real. So if you want to delete all this, let's see, what do I get rid of? I'll get rid of my style. Yeah, I'll get rid of my whole style thing. Don't delete your head or anything. I'll delete all these. Okay, so we'll be ready.